Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome. West Tennessee Dave here with you live on Twitch at 6:33 Central Time. I hope you are having a wonderful morning. It is good to be with you today, and I'm looking forward to doing our reading with you. And hello to you that are coming to us later, watching later on the VOD. Hello as well. Welcome. You are welcome here now. You are welcome here later. All right. Let's see what we're going to read today. Actually, we're going to do something we haven't done much. We have a pretty big chunk here of scripture to read, but we are going to be skipping quite a big portion of it. And I will go through a brief overview when we get to that section. And just for a quick recap, we are now squarely in the desert. They had crossed the Red Sea. They have been kind of wandering a little bit through the desert as God is leading them. This is the Israelites. And they are trying to figure out who they are, what is happening. God has started feeding them on a daily basis with the manna because they're in the desert. It's hard to find food. And now we are going to figure out how to become a community a little bit. And part of that is through the process of understanding how to live in a society. And to have a society, you kind of generally need rules. And that is where we are going next. So without further ado, Exodus 19. Exactly 2 months after the Israelites left Egypt, they arrived in the wilderness of Sinai. After breaking camp at Rephidim, they came to the wilderness of Sinai and set up camp there at the base of Mount Sinai. Then Moses climbed the mountain to appear before God. The Lord called to him from the mountain and said, "Give these instructions to the family of Jacob and announce it to the descendants of Israel. You have seen what I did to the Egyptians. You know how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now if you obey me and keep my covenant, you will be my own special treasure from among all the peoples on earth. For all the earth belongs to me, and you will be my kingdom of priests, my holy nation. This is the message you must give to the people of Israel." So Moses returned from the mountain and called together the elders of the people and told them everything the Lord had commanded him. And all the people responded together, "We will do everything the Lord has commanded." So Moses brought the people's answer back to the Lord. Then the Lord said to Moses, "I will come to you in a thick cloud, Moses, so the people themselves can hear me when I speak with you. Then they will always trust you." Moses told the Lord what the people had said. Then the Lord told Moses, "Go down and prepare the people for my arrival. Consecrate them today and tomorrow, and have them wash their clothing. Be sure they are ready on the third day. For on that day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai as all the people watch. Mark off a boundary all around the mountain. Warn the people, be careful. Do not go up on the mountain or even touch its boundaries. Anyone who touches the mountain will certainly be put to death. No hand may touch the person or animal that crosses the boundary. Instead, stone them or shoot them with arrows. They must be put to death. However, when the ram's horn sounds a long blast, then the people may go up on the mountain." So Moses went down to the people. He consecrated them for worship, and they washed their clothes. He told them, "Get ready for the third day, and until then abstain from having sexual intercourse." On the morning of the third day, thunder roared, and lightning flashed, and a dense cloud came down on the mountain. There was a long, loud blast from the ram's horn, and all the people trembled. Moses led them out from the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. All of Mount Sinai was covered with smoke because the Lord had descended on it in the form of fire. The smoke billowed into the sky like smoke from a brick kiln, and the whole mountain shook violently. As the blast of the ram's horn grew louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God thundered his reply. The Lord came down on the top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the top of the mountain. So Moses climbed the mountain. Then the Lord told Moses, "Go back down. and warn the people not to break through the boundaries to see the Lord, or they will die. Even the priests who regularly come near to the Lord must purify themselves so that the Lord does not break out and destroy them." "But Lord," Moses protested, "the people cannot come up to Mount Sinai. You have already warned us. You told me, 'Mark off a boundary all around the mountain to set it apart as holy.'" But the Lord said, "Go down and bring Aaron back up with you. In the meantime, do not let the priest or the people break through to approach the Lord, or he will break out and destroy them." So Moses went down to the people and told them what the Lord had said. Then God gave the people all these instructions. "I am the Lord your God who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery. You must not have any other God but me. You must not make for yourself an idol of any kind or an image of anything in the heavens or on the earth or in the sea below. You must not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God who will not tolerate your affection for any other gods. I lay the sins of the parents upon their children. The entire family is affected, even children in the third and fourth generations of those who reject me. But I lavish unfailing love for 1,000 generations on those who love me and obey my commands. You must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. The Lord will not let you go unpunished if you misuse his name. Remember to observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. You have 6 days each week for your ordinary work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath day of rest dedicated to the Lord your God. On that day, no one in your household may do any work. This includes your sons and daughters, your male and female servants, your livestock, and foreigners living among you. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and everything in them. But on the seventh day he rested. That is why the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and set it apart as holy. Honor your father and mother. Then you will live a long, full life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You must not murder. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must not testify falsely against your neighbor. You must not covet your neighbor's house. You must not covet your neighbor's wife, male or female servant, ox or donkey, or anything else that belongs to your neighbor. When the people heard the thunder and the loud blast of the ram's horn, and when they saw the flashes of lightning and the smoke billowing from the mountain, they stood at a distance, trembling with fear. And they said to Moses, "You speak to us, and we will listen to you. But don't let God speak directly to us, or we will die." "Don't be afraid," Moses answered them, "for God has come in this way to test you, and so that your fear of him will keep you from sinning." As the people stood in the distance, Moses approached the dark cloud where God was. Okay, we're going to pause here a lot of the reading. We're going to pick up the reading in a minute, and I'm just going to highlight. At this point, Moses is up on the mountain, and God is giving instructions to him, and he will later kind of repeat these to the Israelites. And these are kind of just general principles, guidelines, and laws that he's setting up for how to do different things in the community. So I'm just going to really highlight the sections of this, of what he said. I'm not going to read it all, and then we're going to skip through quite a bit, and we'll pick it up. So the first one is how to use an altar, how to build one, what it's supposed to be made of, how we're supposed to treat slaves. Slavery was allowed and what that means and how you're supposed to treat them. How to deal when somebody gets hurt because of either an animal or someone else. How to make restitution for that. What it means to own property, whether that's people, animals, things, and how you're supposed to treat your property, your neighbor's property, and if you do something to one of those things. And then some social responsibilities of the group. Basically, how you're supposed to treat foreigners, how you're supposed to treat women, how you're supposed to treat animals, how you're supposed to deal with money, lending, a lot of things. And then we have some calls for justice, to be just, basically to tell the truth in all things, not to lie, and not to come up and steal. Okay, and again, a lot of those just were talked about in the Ten Commandments. Finally, he gets, not finally, and then next he talks about some 3 different holidays, or what they call festivals, that they're going to celebrate every year. Okay. So these are instructions that God is giving Moses, and then Moses is going to repeat to the people at some point. And now we're going to pick this back up at this part of the reading. All right. So God says, "See, I'm sending an angel before you to protect you on your journey and lead you safely to the place I have prepared for you. Pay close attention to him and obey his instructions. Do not rebel against him, for he is my representative, and he will not forgive your rebellion. But if you are careful to obey him, following all my instructions, then I will be an enemy to your enemies, and I will oppose those who oppose you. For my angel will go before you and bring you into the land of the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Canaanites, Hivites, and Jebusites, so you may live there." "And I will destroy them completely. You must not worship the gods of these nations or serve them in any way or imitate their evil practices. Instead, you must utterly destroy them and smash their sacred pillars. You must serve only the Lord your God. If you do, I will bless you with food and water. I will protect you from illness. There will be no miscarriages or infertility in your land, and I will give you long, full lives. I will send my terror ahead of you and create panic among all the peoples whose lands you invade. I will make all your enemies turn and run. I will send terror ahead of you to drive out the Hivites, Canaanites, and Hittites. But I will not drive them out in a single year, because the land would become desolate and the wild animals would multiply and threaten you. I will drive them out a little at a time until your population has increased enough to take possession of the land. And I will fix your boundaries from the Red Sea to the Mediterranean Sea, and from the eastern wilderness to the Euphrates River. I will hand over to you the people now living in the land, and you will drive them out ahead of you. Make no treaties with them or their gods. They must not live in your land, or they will cause you to sin against me. If you serve their gods, you will be caught in the trap of idolatry." Then the Lord instructed Moses, "Come up here to me, and bring along Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of Israel's elders. All of you must worship from a distance. Only Moses is allowed to come near the Lord. The others must not come near, and none of the other people are allowed to climb up the mountain with him." Then Moses went down to the people and repeated all the instructions and regulations the Lord had given him. All the people answered with one voice, "We will do everything the Lord has commanded." Then Moses carefully wrote down all the Lord's instructions. Early the next morning, Moses got up and built an altar at the foot of the mountain. He also set up 12 pillars, one for each of the 12 tribes of Israel. Then he sent some of the young Israelite men to present burnt offerings and to sacrifice bulls as a peace offerings to the Lord. Moses drained half the blood from these animals into basins. The other half he splattered against the altar. Then he took the book of the covenant and read it out loud to the people. Again, they all responded, "We will do everything the Lord has commanded. We will obey." Then Moses took the blood from the basins and splattered it over the people, declaring, "Look, this blood confirms the covenant that the Lord has made with you in giving you these instructions." Then Moses, Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and the 70 elders of Israel climbed up the mountain. There they saw the God of Israel. Under his feet there seemed to be a surface of brilliant blue lapis lazuli, and as clear as the sky itself. And though the nobles of Israel gazed upon God, he did not destroy them. In fact, they ate a covenant meal, eating and drinking in his presence. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Come up to me on the mountain. Stay there, and I will give you the tablets of stone on which I have inscribed the instructions and commands, so you can teach the people." So Moses and his assistant Joshua set out, and Moses climbed up the mountain of God. Moses told the elders, "Stay here and wait for us until we come back. Aaron and her, Aaron and Hur are here with you. If anyone has a dispute while I'm gone, consult with them." Then Moses climbed up the mountain, and the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord settled down on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it for 6 days. On the seventh day, the Lord called to Moses from inside the cloud. To the Israelites at the foot of the mountain, the glory of the Lord appeared at the summit like a consuming fire. Then Moses disappeared into the cloud as he climbed higher up the mountain. He remained on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. Okay. That is where we will pause our reading for today. Your Bible study is talking about how God communicates with us. Very cool. I mean, obviously, this is one of the first kind of group talkings that God is doing. But they're using a mouthpiece. And one of the things that's really interesting about this story and this little timeline, obviously Moses was chosen by God to lead the people out of Israel, and he is now the leader. People are kind of looking up to him. And Moses is very humble. He's one of the most humble men that ever walked the earth. He doesn't necessarily want all the leadership. You can hear that when the people were complaining. He's like, "God, why did you give me these people? I didn't give birth to all them. Why am I in charge of them?" And in this moment here, Moses has this relationship with God where God speaks, he's telling him what to do, he's listening, he's obeying. And God is inviting all the people of Israel into a relationship like this. God is inviting everyone into this kind of relationship. But they have to get over their fear. And God says, "I'm going to come, I'm going to speak with them." There's there's just some rules. The simple rule is don't come up the mountain. Right? It's a block off point. Make sure you're consecrated. He's going to start talking, and then they don't want to hear. They don't want to hear God speak. They're just so afraid. Fear of hearing from God just freaks them out. And so they're like, let's just keep punting. Let's keep punting it to the leader. You talk to God, we'll listen to you, Moses. We're a little bit more comfortable with that. This is so common practice. And even Moses did this at the very beginning. God speaks to Moses through the bush. We read that back in Exodus 3 and 4, where he calls him to lead the people out of Israel, and Moses says, "Please, please send anyone else. I don't want to do it." He's talking to a bush that's not burning up, and he's like, "Please, like, send somebody else. It's not me. I'm not a good speaker." We just give excuses. We want to be comfortable in life. So many of us want to be comfortable in life. We want to just do what we know we can do on our own and operate and manage. And God often calls us to things that are unmanageable in our own lives. And obviously Moses is understanding that in this context with 2.5 million people under his leadership and care right now, which he's doing. He's doing because he loves God and trusts God. I'm not sure he really wants to, but he's doing it. He's doing it because God told him to. Great. The people that were slaves, we've just seen how they don't want to let go of the fact that, man, we had good eating. We had some good eats, man. They had McDonald's, they had They had the steakhouse, they had the fish fries. Man, we wanted all that stuff. But now we're in the desert and we're eating this flaky substance that falls on the ground every morning. Man, I really want the restaurants. It was better there. That's my paraphrase, right? But it's the same principle. Your freedom has come, and you have to go into this journey and learn basically a whole new way sometimes of living. You can't live as a slave anymore when you're free. You have to live as a free person. And what does that mean? And we are starting to see that journey. So, with that, we get the Ten Commandments today. One of probably something that everyone knows, even if they've never read the Bible. We've heard about the Ten Commandments. Maybe you don't remember them all. But this is the beginning of law. The Ten Commandments are the first set. If you think about the USA, we have the Constitution. That's our law, right? It's the beginning. Then we have the Bill of Rights, which is the first 10, and then there's a continuation. There's been more amendments since then, but there's like rules that define how we are going to operate as a society. And as this society saying, these are the things. And the very first ones, right? The very beginnings of these are, listen, you have to be about me. God saying, you have to be about me. I have to be the one who's taking care of you. He's not saying Moses is going to take care of you. He knows Moses won't live forever. You have to remember that it wasn't Moses that rescued you out of Egypt. It was God. It was the Lord. So remember these things. He's the one who's your rescuer. He's the one who's your redeemer. He's the one that sets you free. Moses was just his mouthpiece. People will come and go. People are going to be mouthpieces. People are going to stumble. They're going to do the right things. They're going to do the wrong things. God is the one that takes care of you. And you must not have any other God but me. People are worshiping all kinds of gods throughout the land. They've seen that in Egypt. They've worshiped Pharaoh. They're going to see the different gods that people worship in the places they come to. And I mean, just wait till Sunday. We're going to have our first rebellion from free people. Spoiler alert. People we get it wrong so often. We want to understand it, we want to control it. It is, right? So you must not have any God but me, he says. First one, don't make for yourself an idol of any kind, okay? And that is tough, all right? And so often we kind of punt this one in today's society. We're like, oh, we don't make carved images anymore. Or, we don't make stones, or we don't make poles. Okay, I mean, you don't have to look very far in history. Okay, you can look in churches for some of these things. You can definitely see them in cultures of all kinds. And it's hard to know all the history, right? Like in this country, there's the Native Americans. They had totem poles, right? Did they worship them? Were they just storytellings? Were they hieroglyphics? It's hard to know. It's hard to know, right? In many churches across the world, there's statues. There's statues of Christ. There's statues of saints from long past. Okay, are they right? Are they wrong? I mean, these are very difficult questions, difficult thinkings. But basically, should we bow down and worship them? That's what it comes down to. Okay? Okay, don't misuse the name of the Lord your God. Ooh. Ooh. One's tough. That one's tough. I mean, we basically have swear words now with the Lord's name in it. Let's not use his name like that, you know. But even more than that, like, I think this is a hard issue, right? This is really a hard issue of saying, oftentimes, and you can see this down through the ages of the Israelites. You can see this down through the ages of Christianity. You can see this through the ages um, of Islam. We will go to war over people in the name of God when maybe he was not in those things. That's misusing the name quite violently. We're saying God has ordained it. Well, did he? Did he not? I don't know. Those are really difficult places. Okay. Keep the Sabbath day holy. Only work 6 days a week. Rest is so important. It's not just a command to keep because of this, even though you could just say that. But just going nonstop in anything is just not good for our bodies. It's not good for our minds. We need rest. God knows that. He's given it to us. It's a gift. If you don't take a gift and use it, which is rest, you're missing out. And he's trying to create this mindset that this whole society is going to rest. You have to rest. All right, the rest are maybe a little bit more self-explanatory. Honor your father and mother. Don't murder. Don't commit adultery. Don't steal. Don't lie. Okay, and don't covet what your neighbor has. Man, that is a tough one in modern culture in America for sure. Our whole system of life is built on people coveting what somebody else has or somebody else has made. Don't do it. Do you really need all those things? Do you really need that? Do you really need what your neighbor has? And these are hard questions. It's hard questions when you just look in the mirror of these 10. And then there's a gazillion other laws, right? I skipped over a lot of those. They're very pertinent to their time frame. Some of them are still pertinent today, for sure. Some are different because we live in a very different culture. But again, how to treat people, to move people forward, you have to create laws. You have to create order and structure for them to live in, and that's kind of the backbone, the foundation of any kind of people group. Is we have to have some order and structure for us to navigate life together. Otherwise, we won't be able to continue to have fellowship together. And you know me, I want fellowship together. I want community. There has to be some commonality of understanding and respect for each other. And this is what God is laying out, telling Moses, and Moses is telling the people, and they said, yes, we'll do it. And I think we would say the same. Like, man, these laws sound great. These laws sound great. Like, yeah, I'll do it too. I'm in. Let's see how well they do. And let's see how well we do. Because I wish that I could say I get it all right, but I don't. I don't get it all right. I wish I was perfect, but I'm not. I'm just a person, and I'm a person like them. And you're going to see very shortly that we forget the agreements we make. We forget the commands of God so easily. in the moment. We get swept up so often in moments of emotion and everything else that we forget how to do these things. I know I do. So maybe it's just me. Maybe you guys are all great, but I know I do. So, okay, I've yapped enough. God wants to talk to them. They don't want to hear it. They just want to hear Moses. They want to hear somebody else say it. You guys are here listening to me. I'm not. I mean, I can compare myself to Moses as a matter, but in just like a small way. You guys are listening to me. That's cool. At the end of the day, I want what Moses wants for you, which is I want you to have the conversations with God yourself. I want to have conversations with God. I want you to have conversations with God, because he loves you and wants to converse with you just as much as he does me. So, there it is. Yes, the commandments, the 10 commandments are just a powerful foundational framework for any grouping, but surely for a grouping of people that are going to follow God, right? You follow God, that's the top. And then the rest are let's deal with people. The first four are about God and his thing, and the next six are about people. How are we going to navigate our neighbors? So navigate good with God, navigate good with your neighbors. And then we're going to have a good community. That's great. Okay, anything you guys heard or inspired you from today's lessons? Thank you for the peace. I appreciate that, Hiles. One of the hard parts, I mean, Hiles is kind of saying a group can feel a certain way doesn't mean everyone does. That's true. One of, I think if you look at the last commandment specifically, um, to not covet your neighbor's house, your neighbor's wife, whatever belongs to your neighbor, right? Even their mindset, their mindset could be slightly different than yours. To not covet that, to not say, well, theirs is wrong either. It's a different mindset than yours. So in groups, we generally have a common thread of something that kind of holds us together, whatever that is. A lot of us that are here are listening to the Bible stories. Maybe I'm the common thread in some of it. Maybe God is. Okay. In others, like a lot of us are in Discord chats and poker. Poker is the common thread. But life is more complicated than just the the one subject matter that we are around. We have so many things that go on in our lives. And what is important to one in a moment is not important to some in that moment, and vice versa in some of their other interests. And our viewpoints are different based on our stories that we've lived through, that sometimes we just don't always see eye to eye. And I think that's okay. I don't necessarily want to live through every part of your story, and I don't think you want to live through every part of my story. Now, can our stories help each other? Yeah. Are they sometimes irrelevant to our stories? They are. That's okay too. That doesn't mean we should invalidate another person's story, though. It's their journey, it's their story. So to be part of a community and be a good community member, you have to be able to listen to others, hear their stories, validate them as a person as much as you can, because they're part of a grouping that you're part of, and people just want to be heard. Yeah, right? Very nice. Perfect way to say it, right, Hyle? So we haven't gotten to that part of the law, but that's basically what they say later on. Jesus simplifies it to treat others the way you want to be treated, right? Like, that's basically what all the law boils down to. Love God and treat others the way you want to be treated. Yeah, I mean, Apocalypse is saying it. Pray for those who don't understand or see what God says is right. It's also just a reflection. If you can be very self-reflecting when somebody sees something different than you, it always can make you ask questions. I'm a big question person. But you can ask questions back to God. This person sees it this way and I see it this way. What are you really saying here? Can I learn more? Can I learn more, God? Can I have more heart and understanding myself? Right? If you're going to pray for somebody for something like that, make sure that you're also in the category of understanding and prayer. I always like to turn it back on self and say, maybe I don't know everything, because I surely don't. I surely don't. All right. Thank you. Thank you guys for all your questions. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't feel like a lady or a gentleman, maybe you could come find a great identity in that. Find your place in a good identity of civility. Yeah, definitely agree with all those things. It's good to ask questions. It's good to bring your needs. It's good to learn. Teach me. It's dangerous sometimes. It's dangerous to just openly invite a teaching, because, man, I'm a parent of 6 kids. And when I go to those Cub Scout meetings and I'm the leader there, it takes a lot to teach people sometimes. Sometimes we don't listen very well, unfortunately. So give us ears to hear, eyes to see what you're doing, God. It takes so much ibuprofen. All right. Good stuff. All right. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for listening to me ramble on as I do. As my kids say, don't give us another dad lecture. Keep it to the point, Dad. So we're wrapping this baby up. And Thank you. Thank you for being here. Let us be like the people that says, we will do what you said, God. And um yeah, I will be back for the next Bible story time on Sunday. One of the reasons I skipped today, and I've said this, and I'll just keep reminding you, there I want to read the stories of the Bible. That's what I've been called to do, not just the whole thing. The stories. A lot of the law is not really story time. It's really just telling from one to the next. So that's kind of why we skip some of those. If you want to understand the law and read all that, that's great. There's going to be a number of sections that we're going to skip throughout the Bible because they're not in kind of story form. Which is fine. Like, I love all of Scripture, but I'm reading stories. So that's why we kind of just glanced over them at a very high level to keep the story rolling. So I can't wait for you guys to hear the next part of the story on Sunday morning. That is the next scheduled time frame of my next stream. So nothing until then. Hopefully I'll have more to update you on my family soon. My mother-in-law probably pass before then, so who all knows what that's going to look like right now, but we're just navigating it at one little step of the way. And yes, so thank you all. Prayers for Mo. Yes, feel better, Mo. And yeah, a lot of us are in Hiles' Discord chat. You guys are more than welcome to jump in there with a bunch of just people of all shapes, colors, sizes, doing all kinds of things that, also just want to be part of a great community. Thank you, Asibla. Thank you for the prayers. Appreciate it all. I need them. We all need them. So thank you for that. Thanks for being here today. I will be back with you guys Sunday morning, and until then, be well, be blessed. Remember these commandments as a framework for how we love God and how we love other people. And I love you guys.